Nyla, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. So today I'm going to be walking you through my 2023 vision board. I'm also going to be giving you some of my personal tips that I'm going to be using for creating wellness in the home and encouraging mental health throughout the year. I'm also going to be going over some of the systems that I'm going to be setting in place in order to create a happier home, as well as a general overview of all of my goals from all of my life categories. However, I do want to focus specifically on the home. But a lot of people also don't realize that we spend a large part of our time in our homes or just in buildings in general. A lot of rejuvenation and plans for a 2023 reset should also have to do with your home and making sure that you have systems set up for a healthier home. So this vision board, or the way that I'm constructing this, is not going to be some type of magic cure-all for, setting up a lifestyle for 2023. It's definitely going to be very realistic, and realistic meaning it takes a lot of hard work to form healthy habits. When you're used to doing things a certain way, your mentality, your body just sort of, falls into that type of conditioning. You have to condition your mind, condition your body to get into a different type of headspace in order to put some of these practices in place. So my first tip would be to create a digital vision board. A lot of people do the construction board ones, but honestly, it's 2023. First, let's try to eliminate a little bit of paper waste as much as we can. And then also what typically happens with that is you put it on a wall somewhere and you tend to forget about it. Or in my case, it's like a collage of pictures and things like that, and it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, so I prefer not to have it up on a wall. The idea behind creating a digital vision board would be that you can set it in place in places that you frequent. For example, you can put it on, say, your tablet or your cell phone or your computer desktop. Obviously, it's 2023. We're all frequenting our electronic devices, so this would be the obvious places to put it. If you're familiar with Canva, and Canva has free options as well as the paid pro version, and I'm sure there's a million tutorials of Canva out there, but it's also super user friendly. It's pretty much just plug and play. The other thing that I really like about doing it digitally is it allows you to swap out images throughout the year. What tends to happen is, for example, I know with my own screen, unlocking my cell phone a million times, you see the same image over and over again. Once you start to get into a rut, you can swap out similar images for your vision board. That way you're always keeping it new, you're keeping it fresh, you're keeping it updated, especially when you go to evaluate some of the goals that you set for yourself. Say you do like a mid-year review or a quarter year review, or a few months down the line you do a review of your goals and how you're managing your goals. First thing I did is list out all of my life categories, and I actually have a video that I did listing out life categories and planning out your life for, business or career ideas, which I think that I'm going to end up linking, or my amazing editor is going to end up linking, and you can take a look at that video to see how and why I organized my life categories the way that I did. This will allow you to reflect on the previous year. So listing out the things that I liked, didn't like, things that I wanted to maybe expand on or improve on, or maybe get rid of altogether. This really helped me to set up some of my goals for the upcoming year. The way that I keep track of all of my goals is through bullet journaling. Bullet journaling has proved to be the most effective, the most efficient. It helps me to stay on track. It helps me to make sure I have all of my goals listed in one place. It helps me to separate out my goals on on a daily basis so that I can stay on track as I'm working toward a longer term goal. And the way that I construct my bullet journal is I make sure to list out all of my life categories every single day. I want to make sure that I'm living a balanced life and I'm not overstressing myself with work or potentially not doing enough work and having too much leisure. So for me, bullet journaling really helps in that regard. After I list out all of my life categories, I will take a few goals that I know that I want to accomplish for that day, and I'll list those out in my bullet journal. After that, I create a schedule. The schedule is super important because it really helps me to stay on track. It helps me to look at the times, if I might need more time doing something or less time doing something, and swap things out. And then also with bullet journaling, it creates a task list that you can check off. And there's just something so satisfying about being able to check tasks off of your list. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Focusing specifically on the home category. So I tried to consider what I could do to make my home best fit my needs. So for me, I really wanted to make sure that each area of my home that I frequent is clear, and this helps me to reduce stress. Having a space that is decluttered at the end of the night will help me to start fresh and new for the next day and to utilize that space for its intended purposes without having to worry about lingering clutter or stress from the previous day. So what I did was I went room by room and I considered what I could do to make this happen and the steps that I could take in order for this to happen. So I'll go over some of those systems that I plan on putting in place on a daily basis in order to achieve this goal. If you haven't read the book Atomic Habits already, I would definitely recommend reading that book or get the audio book and listen to it. It was super helpful for me in figuring out different ways and techniques, setting up reward systems and penalty systems, for example, in order to put these systems in place and stick to these systems. So I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment and I'm gonna go over my list according to the things that are most important to me. So let's start with the living room. For me, for the living room, I analyzed, different things that I utilize the living room for and how I wanna reset my living room at the end of the day. So for example, I have things like fold the throw blankets, fluff up the pillows, clean off the coffee table, put away my baby's toys, and put away any items from the day's project. For the bedroom, I want to make sure that the laundry gets put away by doing it every Friday. Avoid unnecessary purchases. This one's for my closet, and by the way, you'll see a closet declutter coming soon. I did this once, I think 2 years ago, and it's definitely time for another declutter. I really want to get my closet down to be a little bit more minimalistic. I tend to collect things that no longer serve me, and I definitely want to get rid of those. I purchased a whole new wardrobe for the winter time, especially after having a baby. My body's changed and my wardrobe needs to change too. Another thing that I want to do is make my bed before I get in it, and this might not even necessarily be in the morning. Even if I have to physically make my bed right before I get in it, I just need to make sure that my bed is made. Mentally, this helps me to de-stress. I really dislike a mess, especially clutter when I'm getting into the bed. Having a cluttered bedroom automatically causes stress because it tends to carry lingering stress throughout the day, and you really want your bedroom to be free of clutter at the end of the day and when you're waking up. That's the place that you go for relaxation, and that's where your reset starts every day. Kitchen, super basic, making sure counters are wiped down, making sure that the dishes are clean and there's no dishes or clutter in the sink, making sure that my coffee bar is prepped for the next day. The coffee bar is a place that I visit every single morning, so I want to make sure that that place is prepped and ready for the day. Another space that I really want to ensure is clean is my bathroom. If I don't have a clean bathroom, it makes me feel like I'm not clean even when I get out of the shower. The bathroom is also a place of rejuvenation. You go in there, to wash and get rid of, the stress of the day. So the bathroom, I really like to have that clean. My bathroom is fairly small in a 1-bedroom. I want to make sure my skincare products are not just sitting out. I want to make sure that they're put away. I also like to make sure that there's no clothes just sitting on the floor or anything is like disheveled. The entryway is another one because that's the place that we're entering and exiting. If you're coming home from a long day at work and you're immediately walking into a mess, automatically, I know for myself personally, that's going to cause a little bit of stress for me, knowing that I am immediately walking into a mess. So I like to make sure that my entryway is clean and clear, and it's not a huge entryway. We typically just take our shoes off as soon as we get in, so I want to make sure there's no shoes just sitting around, make sure that the shoes are put away. So these are some of the systems that I'm planning on having in place for my home. I've already sort of started. So some of my goals for the upcoming year, I really want to do a kitchen upgrade. I also want to do a bathroom upgrade. I want to change out the wallpaper in my dining room. It's a removable wallpaper, obviously. I feel like that's something that you can change out kind of seasonally. And I also want to do an accent wall in my bedroom. Now, keep in mind for my kitchen and bathroom upgrade, like I said, I am in an apartment, so if you're interested in apartment-friendly hacks, obviously you can use these tips too in your home, and stay tuned for those this year. So originally on my Instagram, I was taking like little mini trips and I would vlog kind of like a lifestyle. I would do restaurants, different places that I visited. However, I want to get a little bit more intentional and I want to relate this to interior design. So if that's content that you're interested in, that's one of my 2023 goals. So you definitely want to subscribe and stick around for that. I also have a party styling business with my sisters, and if you haven't seen those videos already, I have some of those videos that are posted. I want to incorporate that also a little bit more and give tips and different inspirational ideas for party styling. So that is it for this video. In a couple of my upcoming videos, I'm going to be doing a deep cleaning and a declutter. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about wellness in relation to the home. So you can stay tuned for those videos coming up. And I'll see you next week. Bye.